Hello again, welcome to another edition of the Real Ale Guide. Got Chris in the sunny garden today, again. It's been a while. Chris has brought over a couple of bottles of Bath Ales Gem, which we are really looking forward to. I've had this once on draft and I really enjoyed it, so I'm looking forward to seeing what it's like in the bottle. Like the honours, Chris?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, no fooling me this time. It's nice and easy to open.
Oh, look at that. Plenty of smoke there on the nose. On the top of the bottle. Yeah, mine was nearly... I'll get it there.
Sorry.
To the camera. Give it a pour. Oh, it's a fantastic colour.
Yeah, it's a dark amber.
Look
They
at
bid
that.
at. So just an amber.
Oh, that, wow, look, that looks brilliant. That, to me, almost looks like a red ale.
Yeah, it's going that way.
As you say, it's amber. It's looking great in the sunlight. One finger. Kind of foamy head going on with the beer.
Not much developing on mine, but
Yeah.
less aggressive pour.
I think dishwashing as well makes a bit of it. I've been told to hand wash my glasses by people who know a lot more about beer than I do. Should we get the nose? Oh, cheers. Oh, it's a classic bitter, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's pretty malty, kind of.
Yeah. Hoppy as well.
Yeah, hoppy, and it's the kind of bit of the freshly cut grass in there.
Yeah. And it smells like it's gonna taste. You got in that classic British bittersweet.
Yeah, This isn't one of your newfangled types.
No, it's 4.8% ABV, and it's their premium ale. And it's had a lot of good ratings. This it's done quite well. So I'm ready to go.
All right.
Cheers, Chris, for bringing the beers. Cheers, everyone. Oh, that's nice. Complicated.
Yeah, there's plenty going on there.
Yeah.
Picking up quite a lot of the malt. We haven't served this. It says to serve cool. Now we've tried to. It's not been fridged for particularly long. It's cooler than air temperature.
Yeah.
A bit confusing because we're at the end of October and it's about 15 degrees.
Yeah,
Well, we're sat in t-shirts outside. You know.
Amazing. It's the end of October here. Just the other day, Mrs. Real Ale Guy done a beer review out here. The sun was out, but she still had a jumper on and a body warmer thing. But today it seems to be getting warmer, not colder. It's hard to believe in 3 days it's going to be November. Unbelievable.
If this was a blazing hot day, you'd consider that to be cool.
Yeah.
I think if you had this too cool, you'd lose a lot of that complexity in the flavour.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Most definitely. Yeah. I'm picking up like a slight grassy hop, like you say. There's citrus there, but most of the beer, or most of the flavour in the beer, I'd say is that lovely malty.
Yeah.
I
And it's
think.
properly bitter. You know, it's nice. It's,
Yeah.
If you're after a kind of a traditional English ale,
Yeah.
this is the where you going with this.
It's very nice. Very nice. I like the mouthfeel as well to this beer. It's not thin at all.
No.
Sometimes you can have like a stout and you think it's going to be a big thick coating stout, and you drink it and it's thin, it's really thin, and it just don't feel right. This, as a bitter, it is thirst quenching, but at the same time as being thirst quenching,
It's got the body in there.
it's got a lovely body to it. It's got a really nice body that coats your palate. A nice.
And the carbonation as well gives you as you're taking it down,
Yeah.
if there's enough in there to fill your mouth with those flavours. So the fizz would go up, get up into the top end of your mouth, where back to the back of your tongue where your bitter kind of receptors are.
Yeah.
And that's why you can pick it all up in one go, I think, rather than just kind of getting an aftertaste of it. It's all in the mouth.
Yeah, it's quite hard to split. Sometimes with a beer, you can say, right, you can kind of segment it. The different flavours, you can go, right, that's a massive citrus bomb, and then there's a little malty backbone. But this seems to be one big infusion of the both, the citrus and the malt, and it's one big flavour rather than
split down.
Yeah, it's hard to split this one down if I'm being honest.
Excuse me.
Because it is quite complicated. But saying that, it's a fantastic beer. Absolutely.
How does it stand up against having it on tap?
In all honesty, I went out with Wells and Youngs all day reviewing their beers, and I must have had it about 8 o'clock in the night. I remember it being one, probably, if Wells and Youngs don't mind me saying this, probably the best beer I tried all day. It was absolutely fantastic. It seemed to have a nice big head all the way down, and I think with cask beer it's different because there's sediment in the bottom of each cask. When they bottle these beers, I think this one is most definitely been pasteurised. Yeah, it's all been filtered out, so you've kind of lost a bit of that creaminess, if you like. But I don't think anything's been taken away in the flavour.
I don't know. I don't cask, so I'd be surprised if there was more flavour to it, because there's so much in there. And if there was more,
it's a beautiful beer.
What's the place that we want to drink this? What's the scenario for this beer?
I think it seems quite ideal. I mean, if we picked up our mobile phones now, got the family and friends over, and started a barbecue, I could probably light the barbecue and have a few beers, have a few of these. Or on the other hand, it seems to be an all-round beer.
Yeah.
Where even on a cold day, it kind of got that warming, winter warming feel about it as well, hasn't it? It seems to be very flexible.
It's the body, isn't it? I think that gives you that. You think on a cold night, I can see it. But equally, with a few sausages.
Yeah. It's just what I say, with a nice warm sausage, bun a sausage roll in the microwave. Because lately I've been speaking to a lot of brewers, and I've been talking strong cheddars with my reviews, strong cheeses, and really exquisite foods, really. But a lot of brewers say that a lot of their beers go well with American fast food.
All right, okay.
I don't eat a lot of American fast food myself, but I could certainly imagine having this with a burger or I think it would go down well.
Yeah,
but
equally, like you said, it was an all-rounder. I'd like to have this, and it's always around Christmas that you've got it, but with a lovely piece of Stilton.
Yes.
Warmed up, we still left to go to room temperature, get that taste, get that down you on a little cracker or whatever, and then mouthful list to wash this down for the next taste. It makes you get all of the Stiltony goodness.
I think you took the words right out of my mouth. I think I was just about to say, but then again, I would go back to the cheese with this beer. I would most definitely cheese and crackers. There's nothing like it. If you have not done this, try it. Cheese and a cracker, bite the cheese and a cracker, and then take a mouthful of a beer like this. And this, it turns the beer into a creamy, milky, magical experience. It's well worth trying. Well worth trying. Would you like to read the back of the bottle, Chris? Just to give them a bit of information. There's a website there as well. There
we go. We've got brew for those who know. So it's got a rich aroma of hops and malts with a long, deep, bitter-sweet finish, an exceptional best bitter. So they brew gem using floor malted. What does that mean?
I think it's just in the kiln. They just it's all the malt on the floor, and they just basically shovel it into the.
It's using
mash tun.
Maris Otter barley and Golden's hops from Kent, which is probably where that quintessential kind of Britishness
Yes.
is coming from, is the Kentish hops.
Yes, most definitely.
So it's fine filter for quality. So wheat and barley wheat in there. Premium ale, 4.8. Sessionable, I would say, but only because you wouldn't know it was a 4.8.
No.
And the fizz isn't enough to force you to sit there going every 5 seconds.
The balance is right as well. But it's something we haven't touched on. I'm glad you picked up on that, Chris. Is the fact that the bubbles are very fine on the beer, even being a bottle beer. And if you rock the beer back and forth, especially with my pint, can you see the fine?
Yeah. Guess if I put that on camera.
The fine bubbles that are going on. Now, I was told by a head brewer that the finer the bubble in the beer, the better the beer, the more qualities in the beer. I reviewed the Dixie American Lager last night, and the bubbles were like chunks of cheese. They were really big, and I kind of knew then straight away that it was just going to be a regular lager. But this is a fine drink, and like you say, it's not going to gash you up.
Yeah, the bubbles are dispersing, so it's just working its way out naturally, rather than you getting bloated.
And you touched on the 4.8% ABV. I was just about to ask you, and I'm sure you agree with me on this. There's no hint of that at all. There's no hint of the ABV at all.
No, it's so pleasant to tuck away. I'm not a quick drinker, I wouldn't say, generally. But this is gentle enough to allow you to get all that decent taste. Yeah, allow you to chuck it all down yourself if you want to,
Yeah, absolutely. I'll leave that in, I won't cut that out.
Yeah.
I suppose we better get on, and I think what we'll do is give this one last whirl and get the nose in, see if we can pick up anything extra. Oh, now for me, that's giving a hint of honey. Really whirling that round and getting the nose in. Being quite violent with it. I've got a hint of honey in there.
Yeah, and maybe that's where the gentleness is coming from.
Yeah.
It's that. It's bloody lovely.
That is a very good beer. Oh wow, that's changed the beer completely. Really, I noticed that last night. I drank a skunky beer last night. Very disappointed with it. I won't say what it was, but I actually managed to get rid of all the carbonation. I actually managed to get rid of a lot of the skunk, and it kind of brought the beer alive. By doing this, I've noticed it kind of brings the beer back and kind of makes it better somehow. But rating, Chris, what would you like to rate this with? Is it as good as the artisan beers we reviewed and the beer and Alborgos?
Yeah. Bloody what was this? What's going on? It's in a different category. I think you can only ever give, for me, I can only ever give a relational kind of rating.
Yeah, you have to, yeah.
Yeah, so if you put this up against the what was the one we had the other week? The
Sam Smith's.
Sammy Smith's, yeah. This is nicer than the Sammy Smith's.
Yes, most definitely. Yeah.
I was slightly disappointed by that. To tell the truth. This is better. It's from the West Country, so that might be something to do with it. Could be the water. I'm used to the water from the West Country.
Always a big sign, but it always makes a difference with the quality of the beer. I'm drinking beer from Otto Brewery just the other day, and I mentioned the spring water they use on the bottle. It says, and it was just, you could almost taste it in the beer.
And the Burton beers are always good because of their
water
base.
Yeah.
So maybe what was the stuff that you had in cask the other week? Two small mini casks.
Oh, the Adnams.
The Adnams.
Adnams New Zealand Pale Ale and the Green Bullet.
The Green Bullet. I would put this closer to the Green Bullet.
Yeah.
I think I went for an 8.5 on that. It's slightly less summery.
Yeah.
But that's good in some respects. So, equally, I always like hoppiness in a beer. It gives you some of the hop.
It does.
Not as much as that.
Classic British hop, as you said, with the Goldings, the classic Kentish hop, yeah.
So, I'm going to give it the same rating.
8.5.
I think it was 8.5, as I did that, because it's not the same it's different and it's good for different reasons.
Mm.
So 8.5 is a good rating. I'm happy with that. I'm going to have a little bit more.
Thank you, Chris. I think I'm going to give this a 9. I really, really enjoy this beer. I really do enjoy this beer. It's my first bottled beer from Bath Ales. I've wanted to try it for such a long time. I was so excited when I got off the phone. I was dancing up and down in the garden when Chris said he's found some Bath Ales gem. It's lived up to the expectation for me. So
it's always nice not to be let down.
It's always nice not to be let down. It's actually lifted me up a little bit because I normally give my average rating is about an 8. So this is an outstanding ale. An outstanding ale for me. It's very, very nice. I always look when I give my ratings, how many of these can I drink?
Yeah.
Can I drink 3 or 4? Or if I was to drink something really, really citrusy and hoppy, am I going to start to fall off after 2 or 3 beers, which I generally do. But this is something which you can session all night. Thanks for watching the Real Ale Guide on YouTube. Thanks to Chris for joining me again. Catch us on the next. We're going to do our first ever sour ale.
Yeah. It's gonna be
on the next review. So check that out and cheers.